Hello, today I'm going to be taking a look at the Transformers and G.I. Joe collaborative Soundwave and Dreadnok Thunder Machine with 3 3/4 inch figures Zartan and Zarena. And there's also a Ravage figure included. And here's the box. And I think all the boxes for these G.I. Joe collaborative figures are really fantastic looking. They are similar in style to the bigger G.I. Joe boxes, like for Serpentor, which I also think is a fantastic box. I know some people think that displaying boxes is weird, but when I think a box looks this nice, I think it deserves to be displayed. I feel similarly about Transformers G1 boxes. I just really like their look. It has like this kind of a futuristic look and feels like a collector's item. I was really looking forward to getting this toy because I really like Soundwave and I like G.I. Joe vehicles, and the Thunder Machine is a really nice looking vehicle in my opinion. So let's get this box open and see how awesome this toy is. And here's the inside box. There's a Hasbro logo on the front. So I just realized that I didn't open this box in the cool way. I think if you want to open it in the cool way, what you want to do is you want to split the box in the center here. I guess you might want to be a little bit careful not to cut the box on the inside. So when you open the box in this way, you can have the cool reveal of the Hasbro logo. So on the top here, you have the G.I. Joe logo, X 2024, and the Autobots symbol. And in the back here, you have a drawing of top secret Cobra folders. So here's how the figure comes packaged. See Soundwave and then the Zartan and Zarena figures and some accessories. So here we have the typical warning caution sheet. And we have some instructions here. Seems to be a pretty good amount of instructions. I thought the transformation would be easy because it doesn't look like that complex of a figure, similar to the Megatron figure. And here we have two 3 3/4 inch G.I. Joe figures. When I was little, I always wanted these G.I. Joe figures. I thought they were really cool, but now that I look at them, they look pretty simplistic compared to the G.I. Joe classified figures. So here's the back of the card for Zartan. And here's Zarena. same picture at the back. And here's the back. There's a package here with some accessories. So we have two kind of gun barrels. And we have a knife for Soundwave. It's just in a gray plastic. And then we have this thing, which I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think it might be an antenna for the vehicle. And then there's this collar with a chain. And here he is. He has that kind of hard, brittle plastic feel. And here's the Ravage figure. It looks like it's just the MP Ravage mold. And here's his gun. There's this soft plastic that's, I think, the bullet chain or whatever. So here's his shoulder cannon. It's pretty big. Looks like this handle piece folds down here. It's all unpainted plastic, so it looks kind of plain. And there's not much else to it. His gun requires some assembly. You just take these two gun barrels here, and there's this square peg at the end here, and you just peg it into these square holes here. And the same with the other one. I think it looks pretty cool. It would have been nice if there was some paint on it though. And then there are two pegs on the gun. You can peg the outside one into his hand, and he can hold it like so. These gun barrels aren't held in very securely, and sometimes they tend to fall out. For the shoulder cannon, there's a peg here. You just want to peg it into this port here. And then there's this thing here for the vehicle mode. It's I don't know what it's called, grill guard or something. You can peg that into his leg in robot mode. So there's the peg here and a slot here, and you just peg it in, and the top part just rests on this notch here. And he comes with this knife, which is kind of interesting because I don't think Transformers use knives. I guess they try to make it like a G.I. Joe accessory. And it can peg into his hand, and you can hold it pretty well. And then there's this piece here, which I think is like a antenna or something for the vehicle mode. You can just place it in here. It doesn't hold too securely. I'm not sure if this piece actually goes here, but on the packaging, on the product shot, there is a gray piece here, and it looks like it might be this piece. Maybe they just changed the color for the final release. And here's the G.I. Joe Transformers Collaborative Soundwave with all his accessories. And here's the Ravage cassette. As I said before, it's just the Masterpiece Ravage mold in blue. And despite not being a cassette player, his chest does open up and the Ravage cassette does fit in it. So this gimmick makes no sense for this vehicle mode, but it's a homage to G1, so it's appreciated. So let's transform Ravage. I think I'm going to find it hard to describe the transformation because it's just a rectangular box. So you just want to pull out these pieces here, which will be his feet and hind legs. And then just rotate down this piece here. Then there's a small tab you want to untab to pull out these pieces, and then just flip them up. And then fold the pieces together. So then you want to fold these two pieces together, but there's this small piece here that will make up his nose that you need to pry out. Maybe you can do it with your fingernails, or you might need a tool. There it is. And then you can fold these two pieces together. So he has two neck joints. What you want to do is you want to bend the back one up and then the front one down so that it looks like this. So now you want to rotate the shoulder piece around up to here, then bend it down and rotate the elbow piece, and the same on the other side. So then for the back here, you just want to fold this piece down and then rotate his legs forward and rotate his feet to the proper angle, and the same on the other side. Oh, I forgot about his tail here. So before you close this piece, you can pull out his tail like so, and close it. And there you have Ravage in his Jaguar mode. And here's a look at him from all angles. If you've never seen a Masterpiece Ravage, you can see that his weapons are built in, unlike G1 where there were separate pieces. And here he is compared to Masterpiece Ravage. So let's take a look at the G.I. Joe figures that come with this toy. Here is Zartan. I'm guessing the front of the card looks like the original, but probably the back doesn't, because it has a picture of the Thunder Machine, which I'm guessing wouldn't have come with the original card back. So let's open him up and take a look at him. And here he is. And it's finally nice to have a Zartan, even though it's 3 3/4, because the Black Series Zartan was impossible to get. He comes with this black plastic stand. There's a peg on it, and you can just peg it into one of the holes on the bottom of his feet. And he also comes with a backpack. There's a peg on it. You can just peg it into the hole on his back. And he also comes with a pistol. It's just this molded black plastic, no paint at all. And he can hold it just by shoving the handle into his hand. And he comes with this extra face mask. Zartan is known for his disguises because he's a spy. So to put on his face mask, you just put it over his face and kind of push it into the hood to secure it. So here he is in his disguise, but he's still wearing his Zartan outfit. So let's check out his articulation. His head has some rotation, but it's limited by the hood. He can't really look up and down, and there's no side tilt. His arm rotates 360, can go out to the side this far. There's a elbow swivel and elbow bend about 90 degrees. There's nothing at the wrist. He has a waist rotation and this kind of ball joint here, but it can't really hold any bending pose. I wouldn't count that as an ab crunch. His legs pull down and he can get kind of a side split, and he can kick up this high, bend at the knee 90 degrees, and nothing at the feet, and that's about it for his articulation. And here we have Zarana, and I do have a Black Series Zarana figure, so I'll compare it with that later. Here's the back of the card. It has the Zarana bio with the same Thunder Machine picture on the bottom. So here's Zarana. She comes with similar accessories to Zartan. She has a backpack here that you can plug into her back. And she has this same black stand. And lastly, she comes with this big gun. I'm not sure if it's a machine gun or a shotgun, but it has this big spinning murder blade at the end of it. It's too bad the blade is not painted. It's just in black plastic like the rest of the gun. And you can place it into her hand. But I find that with a lot of guns with stock, it's difficult for the figures to hold the gun because the stock gets in the way. There you have it. Zarana with all her accessories. And for her articulation, it's the same as Zartan's, except for her head has a wider range of rotation because she doesn't have the hood like Zartan. Arm goes out to the side, rotates 360, elbow rotation, elbow bend, this kind of ball joint waist, and this pull down leg joint. Her splits seem to be a little bit better than Zartan's, or maybe I just wasn't pulling down far enough on Zartan. And she has the same leg articulation, no ankle articulation. Yeah, so pretty much the same as Zartan. And here she is compared to the Black Series version. For the collar and chain, you can put it on Ravage. Just place the hole here around Ravage's head. And there you go. And there's a handle here, and both Zarana and Zartan can hold it. So you can have them walking Ravage. And there's this last accessory, which is the antenna for the Thunder Machine. But I found that I can place it into Zartan and Zoranis' hands, and it kind of looks like a spear, so that's what I'm gonna say it is. Here's Arana and Zartan with the Baroness from the collaborative Megatron release. So now let's look at the main figure himself, Soundwave. Let's check out his articulation. His head can rotate 360. And he has a little bit of side to side and up and down, but not very much. His arms can rotate 360 and go out to the side 90 degrees. He has a bicep swivel, a 90-degree elbow bend, nothing at the wrist except for an inward movement, but that's mostly for the transformation. And he has no waist rotation, which is really disappointing. He has a thigh swivel. And he can kick forward about 90 degrees on a pretty hard ratchet. And his legs can bend backwards this far. So you can do the full splits this way. Feels like these ratchets are too hard for this plastic. I'm concerned that the gears might break. And he can kick out to the side this high. Oops, I detached this tab here, but he can actually hold his leg up. And he has a 90-degree knee bend. And he doesn't have any ankle tilt, but you can pull his feet down, and then he has this up and down articulation. So that's it for his articulation. It's not great, so I don't think he can do any good poses. So the G.I. Joe figures are supposed to be able to ride in him in robot mode, and they're supposed to be able to fit in here, but they don't fit very securely, so I don't consider it to be a very good feature. And Zartan's face is being completely blocked by his shoulder cannons. I don't know how Zartan's even supposed to be able to see anything. So this is actually the best I've been able to get them to fit in there. For some comparisons, here he is compared to the Masterpiece Soundwave. As you can see, he's pretty big. Here he is with G1 Soundwave, with Music Label Soundwave, with the War for Cybertron video game Soundwave. Sorry, I don't have the Siege or Earth mode Soundwave. And here he is next to the G.I. Joe collaborative Megatron. They look really good together in my opinion. So let's get him transformed into the Thunder Machine. Let's take out his weapons and remove this antenna piece. So first we'll fold in his fists here, and then you can fold these black pieces down. Then we can rotate his head and flip it down. Then you can fold up his arm and then untab it from the shoulder. It's on a double hinge. You just want to flip it up and then rotate his forearm and then just place it up there for now, and do the same on the other side. So now you want to try to tab these pieces into the top of his chest, and at the same time tab the arms together. So now you can remove these pieces here. And then what you want to do is you want to tab them together. Then there's this slot here. You just want to push it into that slot. And then you want to take his gun. And then there are two ports here. You just want to peg the two pegs on the gun into the ports. So now you want to fold out these pieces here. And then you kind of want to just try to make it settle into the piece that's already there. It aligns together pretty firmly, but it's not a tab or anything. So then you want to untab these crotch pieces, and it just rotates down. Same on the other side. So then the leg is on this hard ratchet here. You want to rotate it like this. So then what you want to do is you want to untab the lower leg and bend it like this and flip this piece down. Then rotate it like so. And then fold it down. You can lift that up to get it out of the way. And then you just need to fold it into the thigh. There's a little bit of a clearance issue, so just keep trying to get it in there. So it wasn't that easy, so let me see if I can do it better on the other side. So there's no flap on the other side. Nope, I don't think I'm doing it any better on this side. This piece is just kind of really hard to snap in. There, I think I got it. So now there's this middle piece here that you want to tab into the other side of the leg. There's a tab here and there's a slot on the leg. You just want to push it together. So now you just want to take this piece here and you can peg it into this port here. Same on the other side. And I think that's it. You can fold down these pieces. And there's this antenna and there's this port here. And you just want to take the thicker end of the antenna and plug it into the port. like so. And you also have a shoulder cannon. You want to flip down this piece here and then peg it into, there's a peg here. You just want to peg it into a port on here, on the back here. I don't feel like this transformation is very fun. Nothing just fits in like it should. It always takes a little bit of effort for everything, it seems. I think that's a little bit disappointing for such a simple transformation. And I think there it is. Finally, everything is done. And it rolls. Took a little bit more effort than I would like to get here, but I think at the end we have a pretty nice Thunder Machine. And you can fit the G.I. Joe figures inside. The easiest thing to do is just unpeg these back pieces and then just bend their legs a little bit and then place the figure inside. Push the feet into the gap in the front there and place them in the seat. And then just peg the back pieces back in. And there you have Zartan and Zarana driving the Thunder Machine. This is really cool. So not only do you have a Transformers toy, but now you have a G.I. Joe toy. And there's articulation with these flap pieces. I'm not really sure what's the point of putting them up though. And here it is compared to the collaborative Megatron His Tank. Looks pretty cool together in my opinion. So that's going to be about it for this video. Thanks for watching.